Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to defining American culture, and I think this is a video of Americans being asked what they think American culture is and stuff like that. I'm not sure, I've just seen like the first 20 seconds on my YouTube homepage, you know, when you hover over a video and it sort of just plays the first 20 seconds. Didn't watch it, I just saw that it was just different people being asked questions or answering the questions, so I don't think the questions were actually asked, but them answering the questions. But yeah, we're going to see what this really shows, and yeah, links also in the description to my Patreon where you can see reactions that I can't post to YouTube, movie reactions, TV series reactions, different kinds of stuff that I can't post to YouTube. Links are in the description. But let's check this out and see, I guess, Americans defining American culture. I don't actually know if it's Americans or not, but I assume it would be. Here we go. Can you describe American culture?
American culture, in my view, in my perspective, it's not one particular race. I think it's a culture as a whole. Our belief systems, our morals, our values, and not broken down by race. So if I were to explain American culture, I would definitely say we are a race of beings and not so much of racial.
American culture. Well, I think to begin with, it's going to vary. The answer you're going to get is going to vary from person to person based on their experiences in America. I think for me, part of it is freedom, obviously, is that I'm free to do pretty much anything I want within the restrictions of law, of course.
That's a tough question. American culture could be a lot of things. I mean, if you break it down in certain categories, I mean, obviously, you know, we claim ourselves as being free, but in reality, I feel like there's not much that really shows that.
Well, it's complicated.
I wonder what he means by that.
But if I'm going to try and sum it up really briefly, I'd say American culture is the dream of a perfect dive bar. It's where everybody gets along, nobody messes with anybody else, you're free to do what you want. But it's also a community center. People come together and entertain each other and have some spirit. So that's what I think of it. I think it's a dream because it's hard to find.
Spirit is what I'm going to take from that. Americans have like the spirit and I guess goals, dreams that they actually believe that they can achieve. That's not really a cultural thing in the UK for sure. People don't really aspire to do crazy things because they don't believe they can. I know Americans as a whole just have a different thought process and belief in themselves because of the culture around them, which is true.
Find a perfect dive bar, but when you do, it's a good thing.
Well, like around my age, it's mostly centered around social media. So it's like a lot of pressure on like looking pretty and like how we see people on social media.
She seems like a very what's the word? Oh, she seems smart for her age. She looks very young. I mean, that's a sad answer for starters, but it's true. Like my girlfriend gets sad because of social media. I know millions of people, not just girls, people get sad because of what they see on Instagram. That's not American. That's just social media as a whole. That's a social media culture, which is very sad. And it's sad that she's so young saying this as well.
Well, it's a lot of cultures. There's a lot of different cultures, so I couldn't really speak on all, but I mean, like I'm American, so I love my culture. Like everything about being black, I love it. I mean, I push hard to keep going and push forward in this culture.
Is American culture black culture?
I guess, yes. To me, it is.
Fair enough.
It's all about free enterprise. American culture is all about opportunity. I believe that every person who comes to this country, they embrace that culture of opportunity. And it's something that more Americans need to do that's actually here. But that's what I believe American culture is all about. It's about the opportunity. It's about actually being a beacon and a light to the rest of the world.
How would you describe
enough.
American culture?
Utica, New York. I think we are a symbol of what it has been in the past, what it is in the present, and what the future may bring. We are a very diverse community, and we've been that for over 100 years when the immigrants came from Italy, Poland, Ireland, Germany, all over, and established into Utica, New York as a melting pot.
For me, American culture is family, getting together, family picnics. And what we do in my household, we go around and we actually talk about our days and see what is in store ahead. It's basically what I see American culture is.
So family, I guess, speaking to people. Like, I guess, yeah, like having genuine conversations with people. From what I've seen before, that seems like a fair assessment, because I see a lot of stuff that relates to those kind of things. Like, obviously on holidays, the whole family has like the whole family has like a get together, and yeah, that sort of stuff is what I've seen. So fair enough.
Different, and our experiences are so different. It doesn't mean that we don't rally around certain characteristics, but the thing that makes us great is the fact that we have this ability to integrate so many of us who are so different.
You know, American culture doesn't exist per se. We've all come from all over the world, and American culture is progressing. You know, it's something that we're still creating. So, it exists, but it's something that we're creating together. That is still evolving.
Can't even talk at the same time. Okay. It is so multifaceted and pluralistic, it defies a simple description.
This guy has such a badass voice. He's got like that Morgan Freeman voice.
To me, American culture is a dream and a promise and a set of largely unrealized ideals.
It's being able to walk about freely, to experience different things from different people, and know that when people come to America, it doesn't matter where they come from, that on a whole they will be accepted. I know obviously there are people in this country, as there are in every country, who are evil and have bad intent and are racist or bigoted or what have you. It's all across the spectrum, and you can't get away from it. But American culture allows for people to come here and integrate themselves if they're willing, if they will accept who America is and know why it is that they came here, whether it's because a better opportunity for working, or it's to get away from an oppressed government, or whatever it may be. I think that's what American culture is.
American culture.
That's the best answer so far by far, because he properly delved into it. And I feel like what he says is what a lot of people would definitely agree with. So I do like the answer that he said there, because it's something that I feel like a lot of people who travel to the US or would move there, they have the hopes of changing their lives, you know, so it makes sense.
This country was founded in Christian beliefs. So for me, it's very important that, we have a religious belief, and it's a big part of my life to be a Christian. So for me, American culture is Christian.
American culture is many things. It is capitalism, it is oppression, it is liberty, it is rights. But who gets that liberty, it all depends on the setting, the culture, the community that you live in. So it's not equal rights for everyone. Some people have it better than others.
What is going on here, by the way? What causes this to happen? This is a fire hydrant, right?
In this country, you can be whatever you want, understanding the reality that for many people, the American dream will never be realized, but it still doesn't mean you can't dream, and it still doesn't mean that you can't get out of your environment.
At the end of the day, if you're born here, whether if you weren't born here and you came, to get your citizenship, you're still an American. And it's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If we're Americans, rather, if that person's a female and that person's a male, or that person's black or Chinese or white or Middle Eastern, we're all Americans. So what's the point of, bringing each other down when we should all bring each other up, because if there's certain incidents that happen that are affecting us, then we need to all come together to, you know, fight that and be strong.
Like the way we dress, the music we listen to, the way we work hard every day, the things we do, how we raise our kids, it all plays a part in our culture.
Well, there we go. How would you describe American culture? See, I can only really judge it off like films and I guess pop culture and music, because that's what I feel like the majority of people in the world really grow up on, to be honest. So that's the sort of the lens that I view it through. Because that is, in that sense, that is how the US became what it is, you know. But yeah, this is a really interesting video, and it's just a topic of Americans, I guess, describing what they believe American culture is and all that stuff. US Americans have a difficult time seeing that we have a culture from the inside. Until we go outside of our culture, the rest of the world certainly sees that we have a very distinct culture. That's the thing as well. Like, there's so many different places in the US. The South has its own culture. I feel like there's cultures on like coasts, like the coastal regions. Like, there's just gonna be sort of varied cultures. The New England culture, I assume, is probably like maybe a lot more laid back in New England. That's just me sort of judging it, but I don't fully know. But yeah, different areas of the US will have different sort of cultures. I think the most distinct one is definitely the Southern culture, like the Southern hospitality, I guess the politeness, the good food, I guess you could say the music, all these things within the South. But the South is obviously the place that I've looked at the most when reacting to the US. But yeah, the US has a mixture of cultures, so it's interesting to see what people from, I think these people are all from New York, but what they all believe. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you believe American culture is? And yeah, until next time, subscribe. Peace.